We are back! Today, we're going over one of my favourite brands. Yeah, we're going through how much it would cost to daily drive a 250 GTO. This isn't just a car, it's a rolling masterpiece, a ticket to automotive royalty, and, well, the most expensive car ever sold, with prices hitting £50 million or more. So the real question is, how rich do you really need to be to own one? Because buying one, well, that's just the start. Keeping it is an entirely different level of wealth. So let's break it down. So first of all, the price tag. Back in 1962, the 250 GTO cost only £6,500. In today's money, that would be £150,000 today, adjusted to inflation. Reasonable, right? Well, fast forward to today, and the cheapest 250 GTO you will ever see or find is around 40 to 50 million. Some have been sold privately for 60 million and more. There's a lot of thoughts out there that 250 GTO is still the most expensive car ever sold, but most sell behind closed doors. So, where's the catch? Well, you can't just buy one even if you have the money. A 250 GTO rarely comes up for sale, and when they do, they are sold between exclusive groups of billionaires and collectors. So how rich do you have to be to even be considered? Then we go into the billionaire entry fee. So let's put it into perspective. A $50 million or pounds 250 GTO, how much would you need to be worth to make that make sense? Well, a common rule of thumb is you shouldn't exceed 5 to 10% of your total net worth in car purchases. So if you follow that rule, you would need a net worth of at least 500 million to 1 billion to comfortably afford a 250 GTO. If you're worth 50 million and buying one, well, that's 100% of your net worth gone in an instant. And I don't think you'd be able to even afford the car. So realistically, unless you're in the same financial league as Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Bernard Arnault, the 250 GTO is probably off the table. So running costs. Owning one is where it gets even worse. So say you managed to lay your hands on one. Say you had a long lost uncle that was a billionaire and was friends with Elon Musk, and all of a sudden they passed away and you had a barn with a 250 GTO in. Well, how much would it cost to run? Well, that's where things get difficult. Keeping a 250 GTO on the road is a whole different level of expensive. Insurance is circa £500,000 plus per year, assuming you're insuring a £50 million car, and well, insuring it isn't like insuring a normal Ferrari. A specialist classic car policy could easily cost in excess of £400,000 to £800,000 per year. Storage and security, well, we're going to put that at £100,000 per year, because you wouldn't just park a 250 GTO in a garage next to a Golf GTI. Most owners keep them in climate-controlled facilities guarded 24/7. Some even use vaults or ship them to countries for tax reasons. Then we go into maintenance. We're going to keep this quite general here. We're assuming this would cost $50,000 plus per year. These cars are hand-built race purebreds, and well, they need specialist mechanics to work on them that have worked on race-derived V12 engines. So let's go into some basics. Well, an oil change is going to be £2,500 minimum. Brake work, £8,000 plus. Major engine work, well, that's easily over £80,000, and that's if you can find them. Most parts for this car would probably have to be bespokely made because, well, it's a 60s car. They're not in production anymore. And I don't think you're going to find a Breakers one in Copart or on eBay. Well, and then we go into one of the biggest cost savings for your 250 GTO. And that's road tax because, well, it is exempt. Classic cars in the UK are tax exempt. But if the government taxed based on value, this could cost up to £250,000 per year, which, well, is going to cost you more than an SF90 Stradale. Well, with this exclusive list of people owning 250 GTOs, who would you be joining in the ranks? Well, in the 250 GTO club, you could be looking at the ultra wealthy. It's a small and exclusive list where very few reside. First of all, Ralph Lauren, fashion mogul and billionaire car collector. Number 2, Sir Anthony Bamford, JCB chairman and Ferrari enthusiast. Cool story is regarding the Ferrari film that was made recently, they actually scanned his cars for the film itself to make replicas. Then you have probably one of the most iconic cars wearing the most iconic plate, and that's Nick Mason's 250 GTO wearing the plate 250 GTO. Pink Floyd's drummer, who bought the GTO before prices exploded. And supposedly, he actually pawned this car to make one of his albums and then was able to buy it back after. And then following that, Lawrence Stroll, billionaire investor, and as many people know him, the Aston Martin owner of the F1 team. So what do they all have in common? Well, it's going back to the Billionaires Club. They have a multi-billion-pound fortune and an obsession with race cars. Because, as we've said, it's not just owning this car, it's the costs that go with it. And if you're not passionate, you don't want to pay those costs. So, can you ever own one? A regular person, let's be honest, unless you're a billionaire, owning a 250 GTO is a dream. But it doesn't mean you can't experience one. Some collectors offer track days where you can drive them for a price. I don't want to know what the price is. Certain museums and events feature 250 GTOs on display. So a great example would be Goodwood Festival of Speed, Goodwood Revival, Pebble Beach, or if you went to the Ferrari Museum in Maranello. Moving on, if you're willing to pay the £1 million plus, you can actually buy an extremely high-end replica of these cars and enjoy the real thing for a fraction of the cost. But if you want the real thing, you'll need a net worth of 500 million and the right connections. At that level, a 250 GTO isn't just a car, it's a golden ticket for the most exclusive automotive group on the planet. So, how rich do you have to be to own a 250 GTO? And well, unlike the other videos where I've showed costings at the end, the answer with this one is rather simple. Richer than almost anyone on this earth. So, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. The giveaway is still live, so comment in the description for a chance of winning the £10 gift vouchers. And when I tell everyone, it will be on the community page, and I will also comment under people's comments. Bye-bye!